Okay, wonderful. Thanks, everyone. So again, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's session, AI Copilot at Trinity Valley Electric Cooperative. We're going to talk about efficiency, speed, and innovation in IT. But just before I introduce myself and the speaker, I do want to quickly go through some housekeeping just to make sure that everybody here is aware and aligned. This session is being recorded, and we will share with you the recording after the webinar. We invite you to type your questions in the Q&A box or in the chat box. We'll take a look at that throughout the session. And then at the end of the webinar, I have a very short survey, 3 questions that will be launched. I'd fully appreciate if you take the time to answer that. It helps us improve and bring topics of interest. So without further ado, I want to introduce myself. My name is Muna, and I head the product marketing team here at Atera, and I'll be your host and moderator today. And I'm super excited to have a special guest, Marco Salazar, with us today. Marco is the IT Supervisor at Trinity Valley Electric Cooperative. And Marco, I understand, has been in IT for over 25 years. He's worked his way up from the help desk and all the way to managing the entire company systems. He has strived over the years to help different IT teams provide excellent customer service using a variety of tools and methods, and we're going to hear about that today, so that both the IT technicians and, more importantly, the end users can work more efficiently. And when Marco's not working or finding efficient ways to work, he enjoys taking care of his dogs, he enjoys 3D printing and building Lego sets. Marco, exciting.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here too.
Wonderful. I apologize for that. I have a delay on the sound on my side. Very excited to have you with us today.
I'm excited to be here too. Looking forward to this.
So Marco, where are you based out of today?
Our company is located in Kaufman, Texas, and that's where we are right now. And I'm just very excited about Atera and its products, especially the AI contingent. So yes.
Amazing, and that's why we're here. So for those of you joining us today who are not familiar with Atera or not Atera customers, I just want to briefly introduce you to the company and the platform, both called Atera. Atera is an enterprise-grade unified platform. We're an all-in-one IT management solution. Our product is addressed to both managed service providers and corporate IT departments like Trinity Valley. And within our platform that is infused with AI that we're going to talk about today, we have ticketing, help desk, patch management, remote monitoring, IT asset management, network monitoring, and a whole lot of goodies. We have over 13,000 clients today. And collectively, our clients manage over 6 million endpoints. And Marco will tell us a little bit more about that and what does it really mean to manage and leverage an AI-infused IT management platform. Marco, so I'm giving you the stage here. Tell us a little bit about Trinity Valley Electric Cooperative.
Yeah, Trinity Valley Electric Cooperative is one of the oldest cooperatives in the state of Texas. We have been around for a very, very long time, and not only we provide electric service in rural areas, and our territory covers about 88,000. It says more than 65,000, but I think the number now is about 88,000 people. And not only do we provide electrical power, but we are also very involved with the community. We have a program where we have students go to Washington, D.C., as high school seniors. We provide a lot of safety information for different people. And we just are very involved in the community because, we don't call them clients, we call them members. They are our members, they're members of our family, and so we treat them as such. It's a great place to work at. People are super nice, and everybody's it's great. could you put the next slide?
Of course.
And again, it's I've never worked in electrical before, and I'm learning so much every single day about it. But TVEC is very good at providing electric power, and we have a partnership with Rayburn Electric, and basically, we had some storms a few years ago, and the team was super responsive in getting the power back up. Dallas was still having problems. Kaufman and line areas were operated too. So, and again, very, very efficient, very good at getting this stuff done, and very good at making sure that the electricity gets going, which means, right, that the IT systems need to also be operational, running great, and we're able to get those things done. So Atera has come in to help us out a lot on that.
And we'll be talking about Atera and how you decided to bring in, but tell us a little bit about the IT department. What does the day in life look like, the size of the department, and what you do on a day-to-day basis?
The IT team here at Trinity Valley, it's basically 3 help desk people, junior systems administrator. I'm the senior sysadmin, but I'm also the IT supervisor, so I oversee them. We also have a data analyst who is amazing, and of course our manager, who's my boss. And we are usually up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we are working all the way till 6 o'clock at night. And we have over 250 people working for the company, and that includes people that are in the field all day long, people that are working from home. We have people that come into the office, so it is a very varied environment. And so we gotta have some tools that allow us to, hey, we need to log on to your desktop, see what's going on. Oh, we need to install some software on your computer remotely and not have to go into, because you're 20 miles away from the office. Or somebody in the field says, hey, I'm having problems with this. Can you guys log on to my computer? And we have to rely on cellular signal, which is in a rural area, which sometimes doesn't give us a lot of bandwidth. So we need to have tools that are not only efficient, but that are also very good at allowing us to do some things. And, the Atera product has helped us with that. I have a really great team. They're all experts in their own areas, and we're always very helpful. It's amazing because when I first started working with TVEC, I will try to jump into do a help desk ticket, and they had already started it. By the time I read it, they were already working on it. Yeah. So just like the linemen in the field are working super hard and super fast to make sure that power is restored or that everything is taken care of properly, so is my team working super hard to make sure that our users are, our users are operational at all times.
Amazing. And so I want to really dive into what does it really mean, and if there are unique challenges in your space, and where does AI come in? Right here today, we're here to talk about leveraging AI in that realm, and uniquely looking at companies like yours, which may not be the everyday type of corporate that we talk about, but. Before we dig into that, I'd love to share a poll with our audience. If you don't mind engaging, you will see to the right of the screen a poll button that you can all answer. I just launched the poll, and we're asking, are you currently using any AI tools in your IT operations? Please, you're all welcome to vote. Let me know if this is coming up, because from my side, I don't quite see if people are voting yet. Please don't be shy. Let us know, are you currently using any AI tools in your IT operation? Wonderful. Let's see. I'm going to share that with you, Marco. I'm not sure if you can see. We do have some shy audience, but based on what we're seeing here, I would say the majority have voted that they're not yet using AI, but exploring. And we have quite a few that say that they use it occasionally. I also see those that are skeptical, and it's great because that's why we're here. and we want to demystify some of some of those fears, or even talk about what are some of those challenges when we want to adopt AI, and how do we elevate some of that fear or the unknowns. Great, thank you so much for answering. Let's close this and move on. Okay, so going into that realm of IT challenges, Marco, I know you and I have had the discussions before, and let's briefly go into when and how and why your department decided to move forward with a solution like Atera.
Okay. Yeah. I used to be a big fan of another product that was a managing system, but then I came here and somebody showed me Atera, and I was like, wow, it does that, and it does this other thing, and it does that other thing. One of the biggest things that we have been able to leverage when we're talking about slow response times, right? We've had problems with somebody that is in their home that is using a little cellular hotspot, and that has a speed of 1 or 2 megs per second, right? It's super slow. It's dragging. Well, we couldn't find a proper RDP client that could allow us to do that, to log on remotely and keep that connection going. Atera's product, not only does it tells us information, and we can go and look at the logs and look at all that information and at least have an idea what's happening, but the RDP clients that you guys provide are amazing. They work on that low bandwidth, and that's a plus for us, because otherwise we will have to get in the truck and drive 20 miles to go take care of somebody when it might be just a couple of clicks. Some of the things that we have been able to do with Atera has been to automate our deployment of new machines. We don't have an imaging system. We usually get the machines from the vendor, and then my team will sit down and then we'll go, okay, we got to install this, we got to install this, we got to install this. And instead of doing that, we generate a deployment profile, and we just basically make the machine join the domain. They get the Atera client, and then the device automatically is put in that deployment profile group, and it just does everything. It installs all the software, it installs all the browsers, it does all those things that used to take hours. Now it just takes a few minutes to get that done, and that's been super helpful for the team. Some other things that we're able to do are, we had to create a script, all right, that cleared the browser cache, because we have one program that is very persnickety, and the cache gets filled up, and it will stop working. So now we have this thing, instead of having to go to the desks every single time, we have the script that just runs in the background, and like first thing in the morning, later in the during lunchtime, and late in the afternoon, and that takes care of a lot of those things. Some of the other amazing things that we have been able to do is, we know that it's safe. We know that it's secure. We know that even though it is cloud-based, it is operational and it's safe and secure. It allows us to use it on any type of technology. It doesn't have to be the latest and greatest. I have some laptops that are like 10 years old that we just use for testing and just for messing around, and the Atera client just chugs along perfectly well. And just having that tool that helps us along is almost like having another headcount, right? Just having a robotic help that allows us to basically have a life. We don't have to, we have a deadline, now we have to do this thing, or and now we have to stay for 3 extra hours because this process is not running, and we need to figure out how we're going to be rebooting all these machines so these updates can apply. That is not the case. Atera allows us to program certain events, like, okay, let's apply these patches, let's make sure the scripts are running, go ahead and check these other things. And it allows us to have that peace of mind that we know that, okay, well, the computer was turned off, right? But when the time window comes for running that particular profile to install the software or to run the updates, well, with Atera, it automatically goes and checks, hey, the next time that machine comes up, within the next 2 weeks, we're going to apply those updates, and that is a huge save. And the funny thing is that we've gotten so efficient at doing that I get people that say, could you please stop doing that? Because I'm in the middle of my workday and I get that alert that I need to reboot my machine. And I had to tell them, remember, we set it up so you get 3 prompts, 4 hours apart each. So you could work your entire day. And at the end of the day, just go ahead and reboot your computer and it will be fine. So, those are some really good things. And that has allowed my team to have the freedom and not have to go in the middle, have the freedom to do other things that needed to get done, but we couldn't do it because we were stuck trying to do these repetitive things over and over and over. So it's made our life much easier.
Amazing. I'm very happy to hear. And like you said, it's a big territory. And the last thing you want to do is have people going back and forth or employees being forced to come in order to get the response. Mm-hmm. And now the cherry on the top, right? I mean, you talked about all of the amazing all-in-one platform capabilities that you've been using with Atera. And then came AI, right? Finding Atera and its AI Copilot. And just to briefly, for those unfamiliar, I see here Joe is really anxious to get some insights about how you're using it within Atera, because he's just recently leveraged it, if I understand correctly. So Atera's AI Copilot is, let's call it the IT companion. You mentioned briefly that additional headcount that you brought on that augments, replaces, and supports the day-to-day work of IT professionals, many times enhancing skills, definitely efficiency and productivity. So I'd love to hear from your side, Marco. And maybe I think one of the best ways to do it is to really go through some of the use cases, and then we'll later talk about how do you justify and bring that in. So tell us a little bit about how you came across AI Copilot and what is your team using it for?
Well, it was funny because one day I'm looking at it and it's like there is this little symbol on my Atera and I go, that looks like AI. Let me see what we can do with it. And I needed to run a script, right? It was a super simple script, but because I am not strong in scripting, I'll admit it, I'm not strong in scripting, but I know enough to know how the logic is going to work, but I don't know enough to kind of generate the really good script that is going to be solid, right? I went and typed in the window, I need the script to do A, B, C, and D. And sure enough, it generated the A, B, C, and D, script. And again, I was very generic about what things we're going to be doing. So, the information wouldn't go out there. But I generated the script. I tested it a couple of times and I tweaked it a little bit, but then I was able to deploy it. So instead of spending half a day trying to create a script that was going to do this particular thing, the Copilot AI allowed me to cut my time to maybe an hour, including testing and deployment. So that right there was a major, major gain. The other thing that is really awesome too is in the help desk ticket area. If somebody puts in a description of what's going on with their computer, you can go ahead and ask a question, and the Copilot will tell you, okay, well, why don't you try these 3 troubleshooting steps, or do these other things, or you can even go within that area and say, hey, I found this information. What did you suggest? And the system will actually give you some fairly solid information on what next steps to take. And my team has found that very helpful because there are times in which they get that, really odd, really strange, really kind of like off left field request. And they put in a couple of things and they're like, oh, okay. Oh, I can do that. That is great. Let me see if I can do that. The other thing is the knowledge base. I believe at one point I tried trying to do some reformatting on the knowledge base, and it actually worked real well. So I mean, those are right there. Those very, very easy three examples of how it works. And I'm telling you right now, if anybody is not crazy about coding or doesn't know enough about scripting, Atera is very powerful and it's very, very good. And there is also a big library of scripts that you can also adapt to your needs, but it allows you to do those things. And one of the simplest things that I do is I have a script that puts a little icon on the desktop, and the little icon, if the person double clicks it, it opens a website. Super simple, right? But trust me, it seems simple, but it took a little bit of work to get it done. But if you had it, but Atera helped me to make it so much easier to do. So, everything is done and they get a pretty icon with the right name and the right location. And if I need to make a change, I just change the script and run it again, and we're ready to roll again.
Amazing. And Marco, I recall in the conversation you and I had, you mentioned one of your greatest fear is with all of the amazing knowledge that you have with the experts on your team, if God forbid something were to happen to someone, how do you maintain that knowledge in order for it to be leveraged accurately with the team and, more importantly, through AI? So you gave me that use case. If you'd like to elaborate on how you're using the knowledge-based creation in that sense.
Oh, yes, that is absolutely wonderful. We've had a couple of instances where we have one person that they just know that one thing, right? And so I've asked them, hey, put something on the knowledge base. Let's see if we can get something in the knowledge base. And they go, well, I cannot remember it. And I say, okay, well, at least start typing it in and see what the AI can help you fill in the spaces. And it's funny because, we're IT professionals. We all work in IT. And we know that, to get from A, B, C, and D, sometimes we skip steps because we know that those are obviously things that we need to get done, right? It's that obvious steps that the AI allows us to kind of fill in the steps, because, if somebody's green and brand new, they're not going to remember that they need to turn the knob 3 times this on to the left instead of to the right, and doing that through Atera kind of helps out because the system goes a little bit deeper to do those things. So, I mean, I really like the product because of those. It allows us to be more efficient. It also allows to change the language a little bit. Sometimes, we get people start writing and it's kind of verbose or it's too brief, and it's like it kind of tweaks the language a little. Says, hey, maybe this will sound a little bit better. So, those are also very good uses for the Copilot.
Amazing. So I'll just clarify if it didn't come across. So basically your team that's addressing tickets, for those knowledgeable experts, as you said, they resolve the ticket, and then with one click, they can generate a knowledge-based article that can then be leveraged again by team members that are, either new or not as advanced, leveraging the same knowledge, and AI will then propose that, call it actionable solution for the diagnostics. And then when it came to the custom responses, as you mentioned, you're writing a response to one of the employees, and as you said, maybe short, and you want to make it, acceptable in that sense. And with the right sentiment, we know that sometimes, if you're frustrated doing the same repeat ticket, we can get frustrated and we need something to tone us down and make sure that it comes across in the appropriate fashion. So, Marco, in terms of your team, is everybody on the team leveraging AI, and to what extent?
We are slowly getting there. I have one team member that they love to put those responses that they're going to put on the ticket through the AI just to make sure. I have others that kind of have dipped their feet in there. And it's an issue of the level of comfort that everybody has with it. I'm leveraging it for scripting, for automation, for just to do those things I need to get done, for writing articles and all that. But I'm kind of like at the bleeding edge within the company, right? But I have some people that are a little bit reluctant, and I always tell them, hey, you don't have to learn everything. You don't have to do it all at the same time. But you know what? Try a little bit. And that's the thing, when we first got Atera, everybody was like, oh my gosh, there is so much stuff there. How are we going to get this done? And we're like, no, little chunks. Let's concentrate on this. Let's concentrate on this other thing. Let's concentrate this other thing. And it's the same thing with AI. Do what you feel comfortable doing. If you think that you want to try to do a script, go ahead and do a script. If you feel like you need to maybe test how the responses are automated, go ahead and test that automated response. See how it changes the language to make it sound a little bit more pleasant. There is, because it is so big and so broad, you can start anywhere you want, and it will help. It will work with you. And if you're having problems, always reach out back to the Atera team, and they'll walk you through it, man. They are so awesome at doing stuff like that. So again, you just be by, you know, and again, the other thing that I do too is I tell my team, hey guys, have you tried doing this, or have you tried doing that? And they go, oh, I didn't thought that that was possible, or I didn't think that we could do that. So that helps out too, with just getting that efficiency going on slowly but surely, you know. And always have a plan, always be ready, and always be ready to support and assist your teammates so they feel comfortable with it, because change is hard. And even though IT is a lot of change, sometimes even we get a little tired of the change, and so we gotta help each other and support each other with stuff like that.
I absolutely agree. And to that note, I do want to launch our last poll. What is your biggest challenge in adopting AI for IT? I'd love for people to start voting. And basically here, is it a lack of understanding? Is it implementation costs? Did I share it without opening it? Oh gosh. Technology sometimes. Let me see. I think I shared it before allowing people to vote. There we go. So I'll stop sharing. I apologize to our audience. I shared it without opening it for the team to vote, but I think that we can immediately go to that slide, and forgive me, Marco, for that. Basically, I think one of the biggest questions that I get when I speak to clients and prospects is, you know, I have some concerns. Those concerns could be justifying ROI. A lot of times is the fear of, is this going to replace me, replace what I do, replace my value? And I want to ask you, as an IT leader, as you brought in such a solution, how did you overcome these common concerns?
Well, the return on investment is more, for me at least, it was a time-saving situation, right? I talked about earlier about how sometimes it will take me a day to create a script. Now it takes me about an hour, including testing. That's right there. It's definitely a return on investment, right? It may not be a tangible, but we're talking about, you know, the money that the company spends on me being able to generate those scripts. The other thing that also helps out is, you know, another intangible, and that's also return on investment, is the ability to generate responses that are well worded, that are smart, and that have the proper tone for customer service. You know, especially when we're talking about help desk things and communicating when, you know, you're the IT person and you are dealing with this for the 1700th time with the same user, and you just want to give a 3-word response, and the AI helps you go, oh, thank you so much, wonderful customer, blah, 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 you know, all that. You know, there is fear from people about that fear of changing the technology and making those changes. You just have to walk them through and help them understand that, you know, yes, AI is going to be helpful. AI is going to be good for you. You just gotta remember, do it a little bit at a time. Do what you feel comfortable with. And the other thing is, you know, you gotta be smart about any new technology. You gotta be smart about it, right? So, for example, you know, people are saying, well, you know, if I create this script, they're gonna get all my information. Well, you know what? You are gonna create a script that is gonna have generic information, right? You're not gonna put the full path of the location where you want to pick up a file, or you don't want to put the actual IP address of the device that you're trying to connect. You are not going to put actual credentials in there. You can put fake information in it, and once it generates the script and you see that it's probably going to work, then you go ahead and change it to what you need to do, and you put your actual information. You know, And so those are some of the things that you can do yourself to make sure that it's working for you. Um, and again, it is a new tool. Everybody's learning at the same time. We can be resistant about it, but IT is IT, and things come and go. And AI is here, and it is a great tool. Just gotta remember that it's a tool. It's not gonna take your job. It's a tool that you need to be able to smartly use. So you need to learn how to wrangle it, because if that's the garbage in, garbage out thing. If you don't give it all the information, then if you give it the wrong information, it's going to give you the bad results. Same thing. Work with AI, learn to use it. It's not that hard.
Wonderful. And Marco, there's a question here to your team about improvements or changes in response time or ticket resolution in your SLAs, I would say, in general. Have you seen that a change there since leveraging AI?
Yes, we have had an improvement in there. Because we are able to get some responses when we get that ticket, and we can see some steps to take. That saves us the time of having to go do the research, trying to figure out double tested, triple tested. That right there, it helps us to cut back on the time. So we have become more efficient by doing that alone. We get people that say, "Hey, I'm having this problem with this particular issue." But it's not just me, it's my entire team. We can say, well, let us see if we can run a script for you to make that change. You get departments that say, oh, by the way, we decided to go with this vendor, and we need you to install this piece of software on all 100 machines in the system. And yeah, we signed the contract yesterday, and so we need you to put it in before the end of the day, right? We can go ahead and with Atera go, okay, well, here's a client, here's a group, here's the information, boom, get it to run. So right there, those are significant savings, because we are able to meet the people's needs where they are, where they're at. And I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you right now, our user base is very, very spoiled. They're used to having very efficient people respond to things. So it just made us even faster. And we've had some people say, wow, you guys, what's going on? And we're like, we got a new program, and it's helping us out in the background. And oh, is it the one that is doing the reboots? Yes, it's the one that is doing the reboots.
It's that hidden IT specialist, right? That superpower. Amazing. And there's another question here about, has it changed your staffing levels or headcount?
Because we're a very small company, we only have about 250 employees. It hasn't changed the headcount. Again, we are very peculiar in the fact that we have a lot of people working from home. We have people working in the office, and we even have people working in the field. They're in trucks driving around. So we literally have to have that coverage from, the moment the sun comes up till about the time that the sun is going to come down. And so Atera has allowed us to be more efficient. We actually wanted to increase our headcount because our demands have increased also. And we were told this year, hey, budget is not there, so we're going to be waiting. But I think that the hit on our overall efficiency would have been really much harder if we didn't have the Atera product. I am sure that in other companies, some of this automation may allow you to maybe shave off some headcount. Just let's be honest, right? But for us, it's only made us more efficient. But we still need to have that human touch. And we have the people that we have, and there are days in which we all look at each other and go, oh, we could use one more person here, because everybody's coming at the same time. So, but I could see in a much larger enterprise, maybe you may be able to reduce some headcount. But for us, it hasn't worked.
Would it be accurate to say that maybe it has reduced your shifts and the workload on employees?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As I said, it will take them hours to set up a new desktop. We will have to go and touch every single machine to put a shortcut on the system. All those little things, we don't have to do anymore. So that's made us more efficient. I know that my team overall is much more happy because they know that they can just go to Marco and say, hey, Marco, they're asking for this thing. Can you help us out? Because otherwise we're going to have to touch every machine. And I'm like, let me see what I can do. And 20 minutes later, it's like, okay, here's a script. Let me push it out. Oh, this is great. Awesome. We love it. So yeah, it's made life much easier. People are able to go home when their shift is over. People are able to not have to work on weekends. And when I first started working, there were a couple of times in which somebody will say, hey, I need help with this. And it was like, okay, let's get in the truck. Let's drive to their home. Let's take care of it in the weekend, right? But now that's not happening because a lot of those things that were happening in the past are being addressed by being proactive, making sure that the patches are being installed all the time, that the scripts are running properly, and that we are able to remote. Oh gosh, the ability to remote in, it is so wonderful for my team because they don't have to be doing all these other things and the driving and all that. So overall, the team is a much happier team.
Amazing. Marco, by the way, are you leveraging the AI Copilot remote session summary? Is that something that your organization finds value in or needs compliance-wise?
We haven't done it yet. Again, it is such a new product that as we find things, we poke, right? And so we're trying to figure out how we're going to do it. But again, I have a very curious team, so they're always asking me questions, and I'm always, hey, let's figure it out. Let's see what's going on.
Great. And I think, again, I do want to invite the audience, please, if you have questions for Marco, we are more than happy to address those soon. So feel free to type them into the Q&A box and we'll address those. I think the last question here would probably be, as a leader, as an IT professional, as someone that has been across different industries, what guidance would you offer to organizations reluctant, and I would say, to adopt AI, and then specifically, Atera's AI Copilot?
You got to establish some guidelines for your team when you start talking about putting that information, bringing AI into your systems, right? Goodness gracious, the students, right, in schools are writing their papers using AI. Okay, fine, but you're not going to be doing a business report on AI, right? So you got to establish some basic guidelines. Hey, AI is for these particular purposes and for these specific things, and these are the things that we believe are going to be able to help you out. If you're going to be using AI outside of these particular parameters, let's have a conversation, right? Let's not say no. Let's find a conversation and figure out how we can make it both safe and available for everybody, so we can do it right. It's coming, and so we just gotta figure out how to manage it. So the guidelines are really good. If you have somebody that is excited for using AI or is really curious about using AI, have that person be the one that just kind of begins to explore and starts having those discussions with everybody else about, well, I did this thing and it wasn't really great, but if I do it this way is good too. Educate your teams. Let them know, hey, this is a tool. It's I told somebody the other day that AI is kind of like a search engine on steroids. Like the other day I got an obscure little problem. So I used AI and I told it, hey, you are doing this, you are this type of individual. I need you to go look in this particular discussion group and try to find solutions for this particular problem. And instead of me having to spend a couple of hours just going through all the discussion boards trying to find the information, the AI gave me three good responses within seconds, right? But again, you gotta learn how to utilize it, and you gotta educate yourself on how to do it. You got to know how to prompt the AI to be able to do it right. Another simple guidelines is safety, right? Don't put your company information on anything that you're putting on an AI environment. Use fake names, use fake URLs, use fake file shares, use fake usernames, use fake passwords if you want to put that stuff out there because you want to do something program something. And again, it's an approach. If you are in a larger environment, you probably want to talk with your leadership and have that conversation with them because AI will be coming eventually. And so you need to be able to be prepared for it because like it or not, there may already be people in your organization that are using AI and you don't even know about it. So, there you go. As for the Atera AI Copilot, we had a situation where I didn't read the dates properly because I'm a silly American. And I looked at the date where the Copilot license expired, and I thought I had more time. Well, the license expired, and I felt like they had cut my arm. So we were very quick in renewing it, but for a little bit there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I relied on this so much because we're trying to get these responses, and now we have to write the responses. Oh my gosh, I have to write a script. Oh no, now I have to go to another client to figure out how I'm going to get it done. So all those things. Oh my gosh, the analytics. I can get, I can tell the system, hey, go and look at the event log and figure out and let me know what you think might be some of the issues that are happening with the system. Things like that. It wasn't doing it, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. So I got used to it, and I've been using it. So I was like, oh man. So I'll tell you right now, if I had to do it again, I will definitely once again use the Copilot AI Copilot feature because it will make your life easier. The analytics are very good, and it's just a matter of learning how to do those little tweaks of how you ask the questions to get it to understand. And when I'm old enough to be around when Google first came out, right? And before you had these search machines that weren't very good, but then Google came out and it was revolutionary because you could just put 3 words and it would bring up the best results, right? Well, AI is kind of the same way. You just got to learn how to speak its lingo so you can get the results that you need.
Marco, I think you've said it all. I will add just one last comment, I believe, is that, first of all, Atera's AI Copilot is on a safe environment. We do follow Microsoft's responsible AI, and your data is safe within your environment. There is nothing that's going out there. Yes, the Copilot does search for answers within your knowledge base, but also within the wide web, but it doesn't learn from your data and it doesn't push the data out of the private environment. To a question here from Carlos that asked if we can show a practical example of using AI, I think you've spoken multiple examples, but I will welcome Carlos or invite you if you'd like to see AI Copilot in action and give your own use cases, and the team can demonstrate how. Please click that Get Demo button that you see at the top of the screen, and our team will be more than happy to walk you through and show you some practical examples from the use cases that Marco shared with us. I also see a question here about its availability on certain Atera plans. So I will say that for clients on the professional plan, you can start a trial of AI Copilot from within the platform. You should have the ability to start a 14-day free trial. And from there, it is a chargeable add-on. And if you need additional information, please click that Get Demo, and our team would be more than happy to walk you through the details. I think those are the questions that we had. This has been super informative. I think you've left the audience. There's a question here about the cost. Again, it is on a per technician based licensing. So again, Sayed, feel free to click that get demo button and we would be more than happy to share with you details. But if you're within the Atera platform, you should be able to see pricing and start a trial. If you go into the App Center, it's available for you to verify the cost and starting the trial. Before we close it, I do want to invite the attendees, remind you that we have a lot of engaging sessions specifically around AI that the team is hosting here at Atera. We have our community town hall with our Chief Technology Officer tomorrow. If you scan that QR code, you should be able to register, and we welcome you to attend. We also have 3 other sessions that we're running early next month with our CEO and the Channelholic. We have a session with our CTO and Cato Networks, and we're also doing a show and tell on leveraging Copilot for help desk efficiency. With that, let's see if we've got any more questions, and if we don't, I want to invite you to say any final words, Marco.
Oh, thank you. I will tell you right now, the AI tool is very good. I started kind of using it a little bit and I really like it. All I have to say is that if you are not using it yet, give that a try. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to make life easier for you, especially if you're an admin or if you're in help desk. It will help you a lot. Just remember, take your time, be safe, and encourage one another.
Marco, I want to thank you for a very, very informative session. We highly appreciate your insights, sharing us more about your team, your challenges, and how you went ahead and implemented AI Copilot. We absolutely appreciate, and we want to wish you luck in continuing to leverage, as you said, start small and grow with the additional capabilities. So I want to wish you the best of luck there. Thank you so much for your time. And to the audience, again, thank you so much for attending. I do want to launch a survey to close today's session. I would appreciate if you can respond. And see you soon. See you again on our next webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you so much.